I said, 15 European countries just the other week all signed a statement saying that they think that has to be a part of the solution, because they're realizing across Europe the penny is dropping, this challenge is growing, our security is being threatened, that's the only way to solve it. So I've got a clear plan. You've already seen, hopefully, some pictures in the papers and on telly. We've started detaining people. I can tell you the flights are booked for July, airfield's on standby, the escorts are ready, the caseworkers are churning through everything. So all that is happening, and if I'm re-elected as your Prime Minister, those flights will go to Rwanda. We will get that deterrent up and running. Benefits. And actually, if after 12 months, with all the support we've, right, and it was a priority of mine to cut waiting lists, and we haven't made as much progress as I would have liked, and I'll just be honest with you about that. Now, they are starting to come down by 200,000 over the last few months, and the NHS said, not me, they said that if we hadn't had all the strikes, we would have cut them by almost 500,000, right? So the strikes have really had an impact. But that doesn't help you, it doesn't help your wife. So what am I doing to make a difference? So one thing you talked about, scans. So we're rolling out community diagnostic centres. And what are these? It means you don't have to go to your big hospital, and actually you've got one, I think, not too far from here, haven't you, Maggie? So you can go to a local place, get your MRI, CT, X-ray, much quicker, much easier, and we're rolling them out across the country. They've already done millions, and as we do more of that, it will mean we can rattle through that backlog much quicker. So that's starting to happen, and hopefully we can get you and your wife onto those as quickly as possible. You talked about training more doctors and nurses. We're doing that. When you're capable of working, you're still not accepted. We've brought plans forward so that our kids grow up to be the first generation that is smoke-free. And if we can stop them starting smoking in the first place, we've got a chance to do something incredibly special. Of course, it will mean we prevent lots of cancer deaths, which will be a fantastic thing, but we'll prevent ill health, disability, ease the burden on the NHS, and make sure we save the country about £17 billion a year. Or the hours that are on offer that your work coach has provided for you or found. I have two little girls, they're 11 and 13, and as I always say, the thing that not that they're remotely that bothered about my job, but the one thing, other than whether they can get Taylor Swift tickets at some point, but the one thing they do talk to me about, as you would expect, is climate change and the environment. And look, of course, right, like all of us, we have kids, we have grandkids, we want to make sure that we leave the environment in a better state to our kids and our grandkids than we found it. Like, we have that moral responsibility to all of them. It's the right thing to do. Keep receiving those benefits, because that's not fair, right? You've been given all this support. I have a dog called Nova. She's a 3-year-old Labrador, which I've got to be totally honest, full disclosure, I was not keen to get, but my two young girls and my wife all kind of conspired against me, and she showed up a few years ago, and she's very much the love of my life and all our lives. So when I can go out for a walk with her, I find that actually very helpful, because I would also be happy to go for a walk by myself, but I think people think that you're a bit funny if you do that, right? So having the dog means I can just go for a walk, essentially, by myself and get a bit of a reset. It's been a real privilege to be with you. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for what you're doing. And hopefully I can get your support in a few weeks' time. All right? Bye, 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 bye.
Keir Starmer.
If you want change, you have to vote for it. And if you vote Labour, it's a vote to stop the chaos, it's a vote to turn the page, and it's a vote to rebuild our country together. And we've set out our first steps, starting with a stable economy. And we've set them out in our card that we launched last week.
Yeah, we're going to give a 2-minute warning.
For a government to leave after 14 years our country with living standards worse than when they started is absolutely unforgivable. So let's change the people. We're humble about this. We know we have to
everything's falling apart. Schools don't work, kids can't get taught, so yeah, bring it on, can't wait.
Personally, after the years that we've had of sort of restrictions and sort of all the economic problems we're having, I'm quite happy for looking for change because I've had it with the Conservatives basically. But outside of that, bit of a weird decision. Why are they doing it now? But that's their problem, not mine. So I'll be quite happy when it comes along.
For Saturday, I mean 2 lines.
Felt sorry watching Rishi Sunak in the pouring rain yesterday make his announcement, but being a July election is very different because I think it's the first time it's happened since the war, when my mum would have voted. So yeah, it's exciting times and it's going to be different. So. I haven't decided. I mean, in the past, I would vote Conservative, and I'm not sure what I will do this time. And Keir Starmer actually is the MP for Holborn and St Pancras, which is what I would vote in. So the new Prime Minister would be from my ward if he did get in. But I'm undecided. I'll probably still vote Conservative though.
It's quite surprising, I think. But actually, at the same time, with everything that's going on, Rishi's priorities, so like small boats, stopping illegal migration, I think before the summer, he probably wants to make sure that there's not a huge wave of people over the summer. So to do it before August and the end of July is probably quite a good thing. And whilst the economy is on a boost, so. Well, I think people are more than ever before protest voting and just voting to get people out rather than to get people in. So.
Yes, I'm going to go for the Greens. Not because I agree with them, but because I think they're the only people that are taking climate change and emissions reduction seriously. Even Starmer's policies they're not fit for purpose. And I don't think the Greens would do a good government, but I'd like to have them see them have more representation, as we don't have a proportional representation system yet.